You are listening to Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaohs, recorded live every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Indie Music TV. We're also on podcasts, and if you haven't heard our podcast, we're on Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are certain tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, and you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's a good opportunity to make money. Enjoy. Don't forget, Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh.
mouth. Listen, I'm Jimmy Hart. Hey, check out my new tag team, baby, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, Jimmy, don't forget to tell them about Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
Well, you know what, I would, but you already did it.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh. With Monty and Pharaoh.
The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and Pharaoh, bro.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty and the Pharaoh.
The Monty and Pharaoh Show.
And you're watching the Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
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 Monty and Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
And Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, is it Monty and the Pharaoh?
Monty and Pharaoh.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
To the Monty and the Pharaoh Show. And it's Monty and the Pharaoh, baby.
Watching Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, what a run.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Hey, cut the fucking music. When you want the best in professional wrestling, Long Island, there's only one place you're going to get it, right here.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. That, my friends, is just incredible.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff and we gonna rock it.
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just dreaming it, we're doing it for real. Straight to the top. Working hard every day just to leave out that tower.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, seen here Thursdays, every Thursday, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, Long Island.
Yeah.
At the boards, our super producer, Matt. How are you, buddy?
Good as always.
Always good to see you, man. I got to tell you, before I introduce the star of the show, Matt is always so prepared for the show.
Yeah.
What a difference. I come in here, I try to go over the script, it's already done. I think I'm almost wasting my time.
You might be.
You send it all to me beforehand?
What happened? Because I sent it to you beforehand?
Yeah, no, you make it so easy for me.
Thank you. Oh, my God.
Very interesting.
Wow, Matt. That makes me feel good.
Wow.
Because the last place I was at, the guy used to bitch at me. What? I'm sorry.
Here we go.
To my right is the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you, pal?
Hungover. How are you?
What do you mean hungover?
I'm an idiot. How you doing, man? Pleased to meet you.
So, idiot, can you tell the story? Like, what went on, brother?
Didn't eat food for over a day. Found a mag of Woodford Reserve whiskey.
For people that don't know what a mag is, what's a mag?
It's large. It's 1.75. It's large. It's a large.
It's a large.
Basically, the largest bottle you usually will get of whatever your favorite brand is.
Right.
So I didn't eat, and I was drinking for like a 4-hour. I guess I was watching some WrestleManias or something. And
were you watching? Well, you were on the phone with me.
Yeah,
for
I was on
right?
the phone with you, and you were listening to me Genesis, like into a complete.
I got to tell you, I love it.
It's kind of funny when it happens because it's like.
But do you realize it's happening?
Well, I usually realize my limitations, but in this particular case, when I threw that bottle into the garbage, I realized, wait a minute, it's 6 o'clock. I started drinking this thing at 2 o'clock. Wait a second, this was a mag. What did I just do?
Right.
And the next thing you knew, I was spinning like the Bermuda Triangle, right? And I'm going, wow, this hasn't happened since the 90s. I'm like, first of all, I was impressed with myself for being so stupid.
Okay.
First of all, because it's impressive that somebody could do this on an empty stomach and not realize halfway into it, bro, you're getting crocked, you know? I look in the mirror. What I can make out of the mirror and I'm turning blue. I'm like, nice. So I'm trying to...
Blue concerns me. Like,
Yeah.
you told me you turned blue.
Well, I was going hypothermic from not having any food and totally poisoning myself with high alcohol.
So people know I'm talking to you.
Oh,
You're pretty
right.
straight. You're
Yeah.
loud. You're boisterous, like the Pharaohs
No.
on the
Really?
show. And then
Loud?
slowly the
Boisterous?
word starts to slur. Well, it gets very lovable. It gets very loving. Like the first initial drunk is a little loving.
What am I, Marty?
You
What do you
gotta-
mean it's not? Monty, love you.
And then you get a little slurry, and then before you know it, it's over. And then I kind of let you go into the.
It's just somebody should have just dropped an atom bomb on my head. It was.
Well, you know,
awful.
my feelings are hurt. I think I've invited you to the house for a barbecue for the last 3
Here we
weeks,
go
and
again.
I can't even get.
You
the
would
power
ask
at
me
the
to come
barbecue.
over once, and I was tired after doing the editing for a
Just gonna
wonderful
make you
program.
burgers on a bun.
Burgers?
Get some good effing wine, and you'd be good to go, bro.
Burgers and buns?
Yes.
I get buns too.
Of course, pickles, onions.
What kind of
cheese.
wieners do you make over there?
I get only the best Hebrew National.
Nice.
Put a little sauerkraut and mustard
Little pig
on
in a
there.
blanket action there.
No pig in a blanket.
No pig in a blanket.
I'm on the barbecue, bro.
Yeah, these hot dogs come
I'm not a great.
circumcised. What are you telling
They're
me?
a little circumcised. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I like the snap casing of a Nathan's. You don't like Nathan's snap casing?
I do like that.
That stuff is awesome.
I'm trying to become a barbecue aficionado. Is that the right word?
Barbecue aficionado. Very
Yes.
interesting. Okay, and what'd you do? Buy a new spatula?
No,
What'd
just like I'm not very good barbecue. It takes a talent to be a barbecuer, dude.
it takes a talent to be able to cook anything. I burn everything.
You enjoy cooking?
No,
I do.
No.
Anyway, speaking of cooking,
Go on.
yesterday's news. I'm gonna probably destroy her last name, but Mary Kay Letourneau,
Latorno.
the former Washington State teacher who became infamous for her sexual relationship with a 12-year-old student.
What is this?
She later married.
What?
Has died of colon cancer at age 58.
Why do you bring these things to me? Go on. Hey.
Basically, the story goes is that she was in a parking lot with this 12-year-old, and the police rode up on her.
Wait a minute.
And she said she was in a fight with her husband or whatever. And the long story short, she became pregnant, and they got married, and they had a child.
Okay.
And
actually got married to
she
this-
went to
to this
jail.
kid
She
later
went to
on,
jail
huh?
in 1997 for raping a youngster.
Okay.
Thoughts on that, Farrell?
Why do you bring this weirdness to me? I don't even. We could barely pronounce her name. By the way, when you're 12 years old, what? Are you? Wait a second, though. When you're 12 years old, are you already a geyser? I mean,
I'm not. That's a great. I don't know.
I don't think at 12 I was even
thinking about
I
that,
think
right?
things have to happen first, like growth.
But do you think, like,
in
how does
certain regions?
How does a
I mean,
woman?
I don't-
How does a woman feel?
Hair growth?
Like, what does a woman want to be with a 12-year-old?
Wow. And what does that say about the guy she was married to? What did he look like?
Well, what
Can
was
we
he,
have
what
some
was he
information?
carrying in between his legs?
I mean,
is
was
what
he
the real
like,
question
big and fat with green teeth?
A little weenie.
And a little
Hebrew.
Wait a minute, but the other guy's 12. He's 12. How?
No, I'm talking about the husband. If you're going to a 12-year-old, the husband's got to be worse than the 12-year-old,
Holy
right?
Shriveling Sam. No, that's
Come on.
I don't know, but that's awful. Why do you bring this stuff to
So,
me?
anyway.
So what am we supposed to say here?
You know, in the
I
world
mean,
of-
rest in peace. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting that they did get married.
They did get married.
That's very interesting.
But they did get divorced, so
They
it didn't
did
work
get
out.
divorced. Would she leave him for a 10-year-old? What happened? This is not even something to joke about. You see what you do to me? This is terrible. This
Did
is
she
terrible.
leave him for a 10-year-old?
Well, maybe they were into
I'm sorry, you're
Light Bright.
30 now. You're too old. I'm moving back down to a 10-year-old.
Maybe they were playing Light Bright. I have no.
Well, anyway, rest in peace. She passed
Not
away.
anymore.
She passed away.
Okay.
Now, why
All right.
do we think it's funny? If it was reversed,
Who thinks it's funny?
we do. Well, you're laughing.
Well, I'm making jokes out of a ridiculous thing that you brought up on a pro wrestling program. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, Pharaohs insensitive. Oh, yeah. What else is new?
You are a little.
Oh,
you are a
boo
little
fucking who.
insensitive.
What do you want from me?
Farrell and I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh, Straight to the Top, Aqua Cherry. You could also catch their other songs, Yes, Yes, Forever, and Seasons. Aqua Cherry's music can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Reverb Nation, or where music is sold. Aqua Cherry will be in studio next Thursday along with Andrew Anderson.
Nice.
Are you excited for that?
Yes, absolutely. Going to have some great jamming, and the Enforcer returns.
The Enforcer returns.
The Reinforcer.
You think I'm going to can we get Pharaoh up on the stage to sing with the
To do
Aqua
what?
Cherry? Sing a song.
To sing?
Yeah.
I like Straight to the Top.
The reason I bring it up,
I know the words.
is also our own Jimmy Farrow and his partner Bart Griggs are part of the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings our outro song, In My Dreams. Other songs such as This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. Their music can also be found on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation.
And a new video coming.
Yes, very excited for that.
Yeah, it's starting to fall into place, too. I'm
Can't
pretty
wait.
psyched.
As we grow our YouTube channel and our other channels, I certainly want to start adding these videos to the deal.
Cool.
Monty and the Pharaoh can be seen on the YouTube Monty and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live on the Monty and the Pharaoh page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, the Monty and the Pharaoh page, RTF Sports Network every Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. during drive time, their Anchor show. And the rerun on Monday from 10 to 11 a.m.
Nice.
We're seen on Channel 15 every Tuesday from 8:30 to 9 p.m. Early risers can catch us on Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And by popular demand, we've been added to Channel 20 on Friday mornings at 1:30 in the morning.
Right.
1:30 in the morning is tough.
I like it.
On Friday in the morning?
I'm up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got your little Monty and the
Yeah,
Pharaoh?
I'm up. That's perfect for me. But
Do you get a little Monty and the Pharaoh worn out?
No.
Got one of our top fans out there, Joe. Joe, welcome aboard. Love having Joe out there. Joe, you must be getting tired of watching us all the time because we're just on every social media outlet. Jimmy and I would like to take a moment to show the respect for the people who have lost their lives and the people who are working the front lines during this time. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here at Indie Music TV out of Ronkonkoma, New York. Before we get to the show, we have to give a moment to take a quick commercial break, Pharaoh.
Oh, be right back.
Welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. Before we get into the show, we want to talk about our upcoming events. On July 16th, Rockin' Wrestling returns to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast as pro wrestling superstar Andrew Anderson joins acclaimed band Aqua Cherry in studio. That's Thursday, July 16th. And on July 18th, we have WWE superstar, WCW superstar, Virgil/Vincent. Which one are you choosing?
Virgil.
You're going Virgil?
Yeah.
I tell you what, when we interview him, you call him Virgil.
And you'll call him Vincent?
How fun will that be?
Well, that'll be interesting.
What do you think?
Does he answer to both names?
I'm not sure.
I guess we're going to find out.
But we got a lot of fun in store.
We could call him. Wait, we could call him Virgint. We'll do the.
Virgint.
We'll do. We'll
It's a good
mix
idea.
The two. What the? Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, we're going to be very busy, obviously, in the next few weeks here at Monty and the Pharaoh. That's for sure, there, partner.
Oh, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk a little wrestling.
Okay.
Monday's episode of WWE Raw featured the return of Heath Slater on the opening segment. A return that was leaked on the internet before the show aired, potentially drawing a more youthful audience. Overall viewership was down for the night with hours of 1.75 million to 1.6 million.
Okay.
But viewership was up during this segment.
Okay.
The overall show had one of the lowest numbers since May. Thoughts on the Heath Slater return?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was written nicely. Just well done. I liked the ending where, obviously he came back to help Heath, and then, there was the 3MB sign and stuff like that. Listen, man, I thought it was cool. I wonder, where's Heath Slater in contract situation with the company? Was this just a one-off for him? They brought him back just for this, or is he actually signed?
If I had to guess, I think it's a one and done.
Yeah.
It was pretty...
It felt kind of real.
It was pretty real, right?
You know what I mean? And isn't that something that we want to see in our wrestling? So I did enjoy that opening segment quite a bit. I thought that was good.
Do you think Heath looked a little beefy? He looked
yes,
like
he
was a little
did.
jacked up,
that
right?
dude, man, he used to be like skinny. In your world, skinny. In your world. I mean, he's a big dude.
Did they do him an injustice by just squashing him the way they did?
No, I don't think so. I think, if anything, it would be kind of cool if that tiny little 3MB thing was a seed for maybe down the road somewhere. Let's say they want to keep McIntyre fresh and going and they want to turn him heel. He's been face for a while. Maybe if they want to turn him heel, maybe all of a sudden there's Jinder and Heath, his muscle to back him up. Not that he needs it, but if he wants to do a heel faction, 3MB. You know, they could actually give them back some dignity because we know they were jobbers.
If it's
deluxe.
a one and done, where does Slater go? Does it go AEW, NWA? Again, who knows? With COVID era, who knows if there's anything left?
Didn't Cody Rhodes say that he would never see Heath Slater's not his kind or something? I could have sworn somebody at AEW actually was like, "Well, we're not getting Heath Slater, so forget it." You know what I mean? Know. I don't know. I thought I did read something like that.
Yeah, he had a pretty stellar career in the WWE. He did all right.
Yeah, of course he did all right. I don't know about stellar. I mean, if the back of the baseball card you want championships, he had a couple. Wasn't he tag team?
Yeah, he did all right.
I think he did fine, tell you the truth. I always thought he was good on the mic and entertaining, and he's fine.
Here's a question for you. How do you feel about, like, if you go on cable and you're going to look up Raw?
Yeah.
It gives you the rundown of what's going to happen at Raw.
See, I can't. You know I don't like spoilers and stuff like that. I didn't know Heath Slater was coming back because I don't look at spoilers.
Right.
I want to have a genuine reaction. I don't want to be told what's happening in advance.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, Bailey's going to do this and this. And I'm like, wow, this just kind of ruins everything.
It ruins out. Could you imagine back in the day if Backlund was fighting Morocco and we already knew in advance what was going to happen?
It'd be
terrible.
It
would have ruined our experience. Come on.
But the other thing is, all right, so you got spoilers, your regular spoilers, which I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I hate spoilers.
But then if you just go to cable and look at the cap, like almost like our show, what do we talk about? It's broken down if you're catching the show later, right?
Okay.
Gives you everything that we spoke about.
Okay.
You go to cable, it tells you what's going to happen at Raw.
Right.
And I'm not into it, man. It kind of ruins it.
No,
it kind of takes the mystique out of wrestling,
right? Well, you know what? The mystique has been taken out of wrestling for decades now. It's been a slow tearing down process, to be very honest, because let's be real. In the 60s and the 70s, when our parents watched it, when my dad watched it, when your dad watched, it was much more about the actual sport of the wrestling itself in the ring. When the entertainment started and Vince launched WrestleMania and Hulkamania and started doing shows on NBC, here's where things began to slowly over decades deteriorate as far as the kayfabe was dying, the belief that it was real was dying. But here's the worst cancerous part of it all. When Vince went Hollywood, he let Hollywood in the back door. Hollywood was never in the back door when Bruno was champion. Hollywood was never in the back door when Gorilla was champion or when Antonio Rocca was doing his thing, or even when Gorgeous George was giving sick ratings back in the day. Hollywood was never in the back. Now what do we have now? We grew up watching two guys when we were kids, even into the 90s. Pat Patterson, Vince McMahon would, I shouldn't say it this way, would close the door. Stay clean, folks. And they would come up with everything. Nowadays, what do we have? We've got a freaking room full of 13 Hollywood writers telling you what's best for the product. They're not lifers. They're not lifers. They don't get it. And that, to me, has somewhat hurt wrestling because it's more entertainment now than wrestling.
But wait a minute. Think about it.
It's got to be a better balance.
Is the problem
got to be a better balance?
A lot of us are older wrestling fans, and we're not used to this new age wrestling.
What does age have to do with common sense? Just between you and me. I think common sense. Common sense to me is that if something is suffering, and look, listen, you're telling me these ratings, okay? These ratings stink. All right? They're terrible for what we've seen in the past.
Well, because I think wrestling's hard to watch in the present state that it's at.
Okay, and why's that? Because it's all entertainment.
There's no fans, dude.
There's also no stars.
This is true.
We need stars. Okay? Listen, the opening segment on Monday Night Raw this week was Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater. We need, no disrespect to either of them either. I'm talking about Austin's, Rock's, Taker's, Hogan's, Savage's.
You're not going to see
Piper's.
these guys anymore.
I mean, hell, Cena's.
It's not going to happen.
Even Jericho's, Punk's. Give me something that is going to bring another 1 to 2 million people to the screen.
Let me correct myself.
Go on.
Maybe the vision is NXT. Maybe your future stars are coming from there. You know, you're in this situation. It's a lull, right?
You know, NXT's starting to beat AEW every week now, right? In the ratings. It's starting to happen.
Well, that's because you have an older crew of wrestlers against this young up-and-coming crew of wrestlers.
Keith Lee and company.
The future of wrestling.
Right.
So we've seen, again, we've seen wrestling in the 90s draw 2,000 people at Madison Square Garden. That's right, 2,000 people at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
That went on for years.
Right.
People seem to forget that. Okay,
You're talking early 90s.
Maybe not 2,000.
Talking early
5,000,
90s,
right?
aren't you? When it was like
So
suffering.
This may be that time. Now, what brought it? Listen,
That I don't
honestly,
know.
the Monday Night Wars brought wrestling back, and the blurring of reality and fake wrestling brought it back. Right? People weren't so
Okay.
sure what was real. Was it? You and I weren't so sure what was real.
Sure, that
it?
was beautiful too.
And
I like the realism.
They did a good job with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, talking about doing a good job, Randy Orton's angles are getting better.
Oh my God.
And better.
Oh my God.
Him putting his hands around Angel Garza's neck
Oh my
and getting
God.
him under control, right? And
Unbelievable.
showing Garza that he needs to be a team player. What a story, dude.
Boy, oh boy, I really hope that those people out there that have been bashing Randy for years saw that, because, you know, if you can, that was so great. What a great spot that was. And don't tell me Randy Orton can't talk. Good God, Randy Orton is really becoming, you know, I actually see him getting even better as he's gotten older with his mic skills. You know? What he has done in the last few weeks verbally, can we just talk verbally?
Sure.
He has been authoritative on that mic. He has been a pro's pro, incredibly convincing. The moment where he grabbed Garza, I was leaning forward. I was like, wow, this is... And Garza, the fear, the respect. Garza, by the way, is going to be a stud.
How good was Garza?
I am telling you, from the moment I saw Garza in Impact, 2 years, I told you that. I said, there's this Garza kid, and he's got pizzazz, and he's got the build, and he's got the exuberance, and we haven't even seen yet what he's going to do.
But the fear he had on his
That
face,
was great.
right? It was
my
like,
God. And Randy, like, oh, what?
well, you know, one thing you're not
tremendous.
mentioning, which I'm surprised you're not.
What's that? I'm hungover.
Orton next to Garza and Andrade.
Uh-huh.
He made them look small,
but not small on the level of like tiny. No, but
no, he looked like
is
a
Randy
professional
Orton
wrestler,
the most amazing
and-
specimen I've probably ever seen. How about
Yeah.
How about You know, he's a statue.
So where's
Randy
this?
Orton.
Where do you think this angle's going?
So ha to all you haters. Randy Orton's fantastic, and he's old school too.
Does
Go on.
Does Orton take Garza and Andrade, build a stable, and they kick Selena Vega out?
Very interesting. I am not sure, and if Selena does get kicked out, there is no doubt she's going to manage her husband, because that's coming.
Is that the
Aleister
route you think they should
Aleister
go?
Black needs a manager.
Oh, yeah.
He's not too great on that mic, you know. And by the way, this is great. The old Bart Griggs from Wisteria Hall has a nickname now for Aleister Black.
What is it? What is
Aleister Kick, because that's all he does.
Just kick.
Kick. Watch an Aleister Black match. Kick.
Well, it's funny how they
Yeah,
protect
boy.
him too. Like they don't want him in a
Excuse me.
certain match, so they act like he gets beat up and stuff
Right.
like that, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
you know.
Right. How do you feel, if I can get this in quick, how
Sure.
do you feel about Mysterio's kid? Very interesting. They're trying to do some stuff with him.
I think
I'm taking him a little more seriously.
I think he's going to join the Monday Night Messiah, and which is kind of stupid to me because I don't know. Could you imagine like a son turning on his father?
I want to see it.
Really? Isn't that a little unrealistic?
You know
though?
how much I would never do that to my pop, and you'd never do that to
No.
your pop. But this is TV. Let's fantasize. Go ahead, go get him.
You're okay with that?
That would be very interesting to me. And what's this eye for an eye thing? They're going to really end it with, like, I'm going to pull out your other eyeball?
They've
I
been
mean,
doing
how
it.
do-
Maybe throw him
how
off
do
the
you
top
get-
of a building. I have no
How do you
idea.
get around that one?
With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Hey, be right back.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaohs, seen here out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York, every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. All right, now I'm going to get a little down and dirty.
Okay. Hold on, I'm going to put my hands in my pockets for this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've watched and listened to podcasts, wrestling experts.
Okay. I don't know why you do those things. but
Orange
go on.
Cassidy is trash.
What?
He's trash.
You know what? I would take a swing at you right now, but my hands are in my pockets.
Okay.
How dare you?
Okay. There's people out there saying
Monty.
Orange Cassidy against Chris Jericho
fucking hands.
is the
What?
match of the year.
Wait, what?
Yes. I've
Wait
seen
a
people
minute.
say,
Really?
You know what? Orange Cassidy's super talented. Oh, my God. I watched a match last night where he's beating up Jericho and then starts kicking him with these light kicks into the shin, and I get it.
Wait, those are crushing blows. What's wrong with you?
I get it. It's sticky. I get it. Okay,
sticky.
But it's stupid. It's stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I hate it.
Yeah, I could see you hating it.
He's really angry, and he throws elbows.
Do you realize the check that Orange Cassidy should cut Chris Jericho the way he put him over?
He's got to put him over.
Boy, did he put him over.
But you know why he has to put him over, right?
Well, because he's part of the company. He wants to
because you just said it. AEW's losing every week, right? You can't survive on old stars.
But this is your young star.
That's the problem. Thank you.
I can't.
How do the same fans get mad at The Fiend fighting in a graveyard or Undertaker fighting in a graveyard, but you're okay with Orange Cassidy?
We just watched a first ballot WWE Hall of Fame, the first ever undisputed world champion in the history of our business, fight a guy who looks like a yoga instructor.
Oh my God! Wait a minute, it gets worse.
What was that?
They threw orange juice in his eyes and messed up. Oh no, orange juice to the eyes.
Wait a minute, orange is very acidic. It must have burned his pupil.
Have you ever had orange juice in your eyes?
Oh my God, and in my cornea. Oh, it's awful.
Dude, I'm sorry.
They should have just thrown milk.
Maybe something's wrong with me, and probably the fans are saying that right now. Something is
you.
wrong with this guy. Because I thought that match was trash last night. It was like a train wreck. I'm like, and then people are like, what a match. I'm a fan of Orange Cassidy. This guy is super improved. Future star. What? What?
You know what Vince would do with him if he got his hands on him?
Bro, I never wanted a crowd saying what more in my life.
He'd have Lesnar throw him into like the 15th
and
row.
rip his arms off and eat his his feet.
Eat his arms. Then McIntyre would come out here with a claymore and kick him into the parking lot. I don't know,
dude.
man.
I wanted to fight Orange Cassidy.
I
was so mad last night I wanted to fight him. I wanted to bite his nose off.
I'm going to be honest. I think his gimmick is absolutely hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid funny that of course I think it's funny. However, to feature him as the main guy who's going to fight the legends legitimately? No.
Wait,
no.
Hold on.
Use him for the...
He's gimmicky, right? He's gimmicky.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to name some gimmick guys to you and tell me if you took him seriously, right?
Don't... No, already I can say...
Wait, no, Kamala was gimmicky, right?
I did take him seriously.
But you took him seriously,
yes,
right?
I did.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me think of another gimmicky guy.
Kamala was
Papa
powerful.
Shango?
Papa Shango, I already told you the weirdness about Papa Shango, but he made me unsettled. To this day, that character was weird to me. So yeah,
Ultimate Warrior gimmicky?
Oh please, I took Ultimate Warrior very seriously.
But he was gimmicky, right?
Of course he was gimmicky.
He was the Ultimate Warrior from...
I mean, Kane is gimmicky.
Unknown.
I take him super seriously.
Right? Thank you.
You know who I didn't take super seriously?
Who?
Giant Gonzalez.
Why?
I just didn't take him seriously. You thought that you took him seriously.
After Bill Alfonso told me all the women he used to have? Absolutely.
Oh well, that's the... Wait a minute! I don't even remember... Oh, that's right. I was hungover.
You hungover. Bill Alfonso said he was the fluff guy for Giant Gonzalez.
Well,
you can catch that interview on Monty the Pharaoh, by the way.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay.
I'd be a fluff guy for
I never took him
Gonzalez.
seriously. I didn't, That's weird. Who's the big fella? Oh,
Luchasaurus is gimmicky.
I don't take Luchasaurus seriously.
Why?
Because it's Luchasaurus. It's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is a skateboarder who wrestles you with his hands in his pockets, and then he kicks you in the shins lightly.
So
I mean, what the? You know what would be great? The WWE needs to sign Orange Cassidy, like you said. He kicks Brock Lesnar in the shins, and Brock Lesnar just rips his body into pieces.
He just like tears his head off.
Yes.
You got the veins and the
and blood everywhere. I would love that.
It's hilarious.
Orange Cassidy. I hate Orange Cassidy.
Oh, I know you do. Oh my God, that's pretty funny.
I hate you, Orange
You're not impressed
Cassidy.
with his athleticism?
I hate him.
The things he could do with his hands in his
Congratulations.
pockets?
So yeah, he could do backflips with hands in
He
your
must be
pockets.
the champion at pocket pool. You know that sport, right?
Please. I just can't. How about another guy I was covering last week that you're really high on that you would give me?
Be nice.
Hangman Page.
Would you? Are you
now,
going to be
listen,
nice?
Listen.
Are you going to be
he's
nice?
He's a good wrestler. Yeah, I am
he's
going to be
an
nice.
excellent
good
wrestler. Go on.
I think he could be the future of wrestling. I really do.
He's part of what could be.
But that stupid drinking your liquor bullshit, I can't take either. Weigh in, bro.
Why is that such a big deal
It's
to
stupid.
you?
It's dumb.
His whiskey drinking. I don't
Hey, I'm at a wrestling match and I'm drinking before my wrestling match. Good promo.
They should
hey,
let him...
kids out there, drink whiskey before you participate in athletics.
They should let him smoke too.
Why not?
Hey, I'm Hangman Adam Page. What's up, kids? Woohoo! He like coughs and starts barfing.
Congratulations. That's great,
man. I don't know. If that bothers you that much, then
what bothers me is if this stuff went on in the WWE, everybody would be like, "What are they?"
Well, first of all, Vince wouldn't let. Wait a minute. Does he drink on screen?
Yeah, he has a glass and he sips on it.
I thought you're not allowed to drink.
Well, it's probably not real liquor. It's probably
so he's
Coca-Cola.
not even drinking real liquor.
Of course.
Wow, this cowboy's a fraud. What the hell's going on here? What's he drinking? High C?
And you know what? Is Hangman really PC?
What's PC?
Politically correct.
Hangman?
Yeah, the name Hangman.
Well, why is that not politically?
I don't know. Hangman, like you're hanging people.
Okay.
That's politically correct, is it?
I didn't realize, was a Hangman a specialist? I thought Hangman would hang whoever was a bad dude. Wasn't that his job to hang the criminals?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
So your thoughts on Hangman Page?
I think he's actually really good. I've always liked him, but I think that he's come along really well over the last couple of years. His character is as close, and I said this to you when I was getting drunker and drunker. His character, as far as today's landscape of wrestlers, is as close as you're going to get to a Barry Windham that you're going to get. Like he's not overly. Mike, you don't hear him that much on the mic. You never heard Barry much on the mic. He's a big Southern boy. He's got the look. He's got the Western feel to him. He's got the old Southern wrestling style and approach. I like him. I feel like he's very old school. I think Vince would find him boring.
I don't dislike him.
I think Vince would find him boring. Be like, what do I do with this guy? You know what I mean? You have to put him in a faction almost, but I feel like he's starting to get to the point where he might not need anybody, He might be there soon.
Well, the breakup is eventually going to happen.
Right. Well, the best tag team in the world won again last night, and that's him and Kenny.
They're the best tag team in the
I
world?
think they are.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Better than Sasha and Bailey?
Yeah, well, I think Harlem Heat is better than Sasha and Bailey.
All right, wait, that's later on in the
script.
Sorry. Oh, my God, jumping grips.
Well, you brought them
All right,
up.
some good news. Taz appeared on AEW last night at Fyter Fest and announced the return of the FTW Championship that was used in ECW from 1998 and 1999.
Wow.
Taz originally debuted with the title, and Sabu was the only other wrestler to hold it before it was unified with the ECW World Heavyweight title in March of 1999.
Mm-hmm.
So your boy Cage was handed the belt. Thoughts?
My boy. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of Cage? You love big dudes. What do you think of Cage?
I think the marriage between Taz and Cage is a good marriage. He's a good mouthpiece.
It's fair. He
but
needs one. So
I
yes.
think Cage.
How about his look?
Really looks good.
Okay.
But for some reason, he doesn't look super intimidating. Is that maybe I'm not saying
really
it right.
now?
He's not scary.
He is to me, but he has to be more.
Who's the dude with the?
He has to be packaged
the dyed
the right
hair.
way.
The guy with Jake the Snake. I'm sorry, I lost his name. The guy Jake the Snake manages.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. All right, fine.
That guy's scary.
Right.
Like that guy looks like he wants to rip your face off.
Right.
Brock Lesnar looks like
Lance
he wants
Archer.
Lance Archer.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar looks like he wants to rip your face off. Cage just looks like a muscle.
I
now,
have a different take on Cage.
Go ahead.
I never saw Cage. I think he tried out for the WWE when he was just a kid. My first exposure to Cage was, believe it or not, in Mexico, because I still, from time to time, watch Mexico wrestling. I'll go on YouTube and I'll look up CMLL or AAA, and this is where I saw Cage. And he was a beast down there. He was amazing. He would tear people to shreds, okay? Then I saw him on Lucha Underground, and he tore the World Heavyweight title in half after he jumped the champion. He literally ripped the belt in half. I've always found him to be an unbelievable specimen, and if you watch as many matches of his that I have over the years, he can do a lot of stuff in that ring. He is very talented. So I always wondered, and I think I know the answer, I don't think he has a very good attitude, at least he didn't with Vince, and something went wrong there. That's why we've never seen him back since.
Wait, but go back. So he was with Vince for a bit?
I think he tried years ago. He was in the FCW before it became NXT. He was part of the FCW system, which is Florida Championship Wrestling, but that was the prequel to NXT. He was there then. He wasn't there long.
So something definitely had to be wrong. A
Something
guy
happened.
that size.
Right, something happened.
Like,
to his credit, though, like I told you, he went to Mexico and really made his mark in Mexico, and then he did the Lucha Underground stuff. He's done some Impact, obviously, and, here he is. What I'm curious about, and I'm surprised you haven't brought this up, How is it that AEW can legally use the FTW Championship if the FTW Championship was part of the ECW brand, which Vince McMahon now owns? That belt you can see on reruns on the WWE Network. How did this happen? How is this allowed? And is Vince going to do something about this? I find this very interesting. And let me tell you something. If Vince does nothing about this, then Vince is already sleeping secretly with these guys.
Well, no, dude. You know what?
Something's up.
There's a lot of things with trademarks and everything else, and you know,
don't think
even
that
the
Vince,
best
when he purchased ECW stuff,
doesn't work like that.
This belt?
Trademarks, every year,
Wow.
every 2 years. I'm not a lawyer, but the
Interesting.
trademarks run out, and a lot of times they don't renew trademarks.
Wow.
Right?
So you
I mean,
think that
I think you're aware. Cody Rhodes doesn't have his name.
Right.
Vince owns Cody Rhodes' name.
I've actually heard Cody say, I can use my name, but I choose not to.
No, he cannot.
Very interesting.
Vince does have the and if
By the
anyone
way,
wants to check trademarks,
that's
just go to the government site
rough.
and type in a
By the
name,
way, that
and you
particular-
can see if someone. Why is it rough?
Let him call himself Rhodes.
Why?
Boy, you're rough, man.
Hey, first
Cody Rhodes.
You know what? Get your
Boy,
shit
that's
together,
tough.
man. If it's that important to you, you should have trademarked your name.
Right, because I don't like Cody. Ladies
No.
and gentlemen, Cody!
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris! Is that Jericho? Shut up, it's just Chris now.
But you know what? Chris Jericho's probably smart enough to trademark his name.
I'm sure
right?
he was, like Hulk
I know
Hogan.
Bret Hart was.
Right.
Right? You know Hulk Hogan was,
Hulk
right?
Hogan was,
Well,
that's
no,
right.
you know what?
He
Hold
wasn't?
on. No, he wasn't. That's why he was. Wait, no, was he?
He's protected. He's
You know,
in
J.J.
Hollywood.
McGuire, we're friends with. I got to ask him that question because I'm
Interesting.
wondering if Hogan trademarked his name.
Is
I would be
JJ?
shocked.
Wait a minute, is JJ trademarked?
I'm going to steal JJ's name. I'm going to call myself
JJ
JJ.
Money.
No, I'm going to call myself JJ McGuire.
Why?
Because that's what I'm doing. I'm trademarking the
McGuire
name.
and the Pharaoh?
That's right.
That's very strange. What are you talking about?
What do you think of that, Matt? Change it to
Matt, don't-
McGuire to Pharaoh.
Matt, don't.
He likes it.
He likes it. No, he doesn't. He's like, no. Thank you.
Keith Lee beat Adam Cole last night. Unified the belts. What do you think of Pharaoh?
I expected it, didn't you? I did. I thought
I kind of
Keith Lee was going to win.
I kind of thought Karrion Kross was going to come in and interfere.
You love him. You
I
wanted
love
him
that
to
guy.
just trash the whole match.
Oh my God, I love that guy.
But a Karrion Kross.
Did you see at the end of the show he was like waiting?
Oh yeah. Oh, he's waiting. All right. That was a really good match, and the right guy won. And what does this leave for Adam Cole? You can come up now.
Dude, that guy is smaller than Orange Cassidy,
Would
man.
you stop? You do not start with Adam Cole. If you start on Adam Cole,
You're
I am
leaving?
going to. Yeah,
You're gonna leave the
I'm
show?
going to lose my
You're
mind.
gonna leave the show?
No, I won't leave the show. Will I? Adam, should I? Baby!
What do they bill him at? Weighing in at $127, Adam Cole.
A large pastrami sandwich.
Come on,
and
dude.
a Diet Coke.
Look, why do you like Adam Cole?
I love Adam Cole.
Why?
I consider him just a little bit smaller version of Chris Jericho. He's an
A little bit smaller?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little. A
bit.
little.
Chris is getting older now. I'm talking about Chris in his prime.
Okay.
Not heavy beer drinking Chris.
Oh my God.
Current beer drinking Chris is 240, right? Old Chris was what, 220? And you probably were calling him in 1999. Wow, Jericho weighs 2 pounds.
No, Jericho looked.
You got Undertaker
Jericho
and
looked
Kane,
big.
and then you got Jericho. I can see you 20 years ago. Jericho's a little bit.
I want my wrestlers like Keith Lee, man.
Yeah, Keith Lee's as big as a tank.
That's what you want.
Adam Cole was kicking
I
his
want
ass.
Bob Backlund. I want Don Morocco.
Okay.
I don't
all
want
right.
Adam Cole. I don't want Adam
I
Cole.
think they should put.
I don't want Orange Cassidy. I want Luchasaurus.
What?
And Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy gets a pass in my book.
Wait a minute! Jungle Boy's physique gets a pass over
Just gets a
Adam
pass.
Cole's?
Because he got
You're
long
high.
hair.
So does Adam Cole!
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
dude, you're reaching, bro.
I am.
Jungle Boy has... No, I have more tone than... No, I don't. Well, maybe I do.
Hey, by the way, I didn't know if you noticed, but like I think earlier this year or late last year, our man Lee recounted how a young woman offered him a drink after he repeatedly rejected her passes.
This is confusing
Only
me.
to lose consciousness, just like you
Wait
did
a minute,
recently.
who lost consciousness?
Lee.
So, did he take a drink from her? Because it says here he was refusing drinks.
But then he must have took a drink, and she slipped him a Mickey.
So he woke up naked in a hotel room with her?
Yeah. Well, not with her, just naked.
Just naked in a hotel room. Okay.
So
I don't know what the point of this story is.
Last week it was about equality.
Yeah.
And some of the things that go on, which will lead into our most, annoying wrestling expert after
God,
this.
I can't wait. Right.
But how do you feel about the reverse sexual abuse of somebody?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I think
You taking it serious?
Yeah, you better. I mean, if a female slips you a Mickey and you wind up naked in a hotel room, I'd be pretty pissed off. I'd be like, what the hell?
Did that ever happen to you when you were rocking out?
No.
You never, like, woke up?
No. Oh, wow, man, I woke up naked in a hotel room and the TV got thrown through the window.
Did you ever, like, hook up with someone who's, like, Coyote Ugly?
Did I ever tell you this story about false advertising?
No, let me hear it.
Okay, this is your story about false advertising.
Go ahead.
Once upon a time when I was living in Hollywood, I'm walking down the street, it's the middle of the night, and let's just say a ring rat comes up to the Pharaoh, right?
Right.
And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Let's hang out. And the packaging looked fine, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, let's go hang out, right? So, you're hanging out, you start peeling the packaging, right? And you realize that underneath is a complete lemon. It's just like, what the hell? And everything
What do you mean a lemon? Hold on.
Things start falling out like, sides and stomachs and shit like that. You realize, would you staple gun that shit together? So I'll never forget this. And I'm looking, I'm going, I'm looking at this, I step back and I'm like, fraud. And they look at me.
Called her?
Yeah, like they look at me, I'm like, false advertising. And they were like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, you can't be serious. You're like totally staple gun that shit. You were hiding that shit. That's fucked up.
So in clothes look hot. And then when it came off?
I'm like, that's fucked up. False advertising.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. Isn't there a point beyond, like, the point of no return? Like, you're in.
No, there is no such thing.
Taking your clothes off.
No. Wait a minute. If you go down to the local, let's say, like, you're in Jersey.
Okay.
And you go past...
What's wrong with why you making fun of people from Jersey?
Well, I'm from Jersey.
All right,
I'm just trying to make a point about... let me make my point.
All right,
you go past the
False
factory, right? Let's say you're going down for a trip down to Lower Jersey.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Understood.
You're with me.
Understood.
Okay. And all of a sudden, you smell factory pipes. Are you going down to Lower Jersey? Are you going down to No, you're not. You're pulling your car, you're turning around, and you're going back to wherever the hell across the bridge.
Do you leave Jersey or do you stay in Upper Jersey and finish the job?
No.
So you just leave Jersey, period.
If it
you're
smells like Hoboken?
You're driving the George Washington.
Dude, I'm swimming across the Hudson
See, me
River.
personally, I'll leave southern New Jersey, but I'll stay northern New Jersey and leave my southern New York with the southern New Jersey.
Very interesting. Okay. What do you do if you got somebody who's got tuna fish breath? What do you do then?
Oof, there's dragon breath, huh?
Yeah. What do you do then?
One, bro.
What do you do then? Then North Jersey's out. See, I just swim across the channel. I don't even set myself up for any more disappointments. Traveling is hard enough.
Anyway, that leads us into my most favorite part of the show.
No, please.
The most annoying pro wrestling expert.
Fuck me.
We're gonna play a video from Matt Riddle. Let you all listen, and then we're gonna put our headphones on.
I don't have that. Go ahead. Tell me how it went.
All right. Well.
All right.
Let me
roll it.
I'm gonna give you some headphones.
No.
Bro. You can roll it, Matt.
Hit it.
I'm gonna make this quick. I have never in my entire life sexually assaulted a man, woman, or anybody. And that includes Samantha Tavell, Candy Cartwright. I never sexually assaulted you. The story about that band trip and the driver being asleep and me forcing you to do stuff and hop on, whatever, is a complete lie. It's a fabricated story because you're still mad. You know why you're mad? Because yes, you're right. We had an affair. You have plenty of evidence of that. And you know what? I never denied it because it happened. Do I want to talk about it? Do I really want to share about it? No. It's embarrassing because I feel like a real piece of crap cheating on my wife and doing that and now having to talk about it publicly. But I have to. We had a relationship. We had a fling. I started to get sad and depressed because I was lying to my wife so much to hide what I was doing. I was lying to all my friends because I didn't want anybody to know. Because it's not something cool. I didn't want to brag about it. I tried to end it. I told my wife about you and us. I tried to end it. I blocked you. I blocked your social media. You then started using messaging apps and you kept coming. I blocked those. I got a new number. You got my new number and kept messaging me. You literally got on social media accounts for other companies, kept messaging me until I blocked them. Now you have literally started harassing me, showing up to hotels, harassing my friends. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? At this point, you have to realize if you don't think you're stalking me or harassing me, you're crazy. And if you are at home and you don't think that's harassment, you're crazy. At the end of the day, I'm not perfect. We did have an affair, and I'm not happy about that. But I never sexually abused anybody. I never sexually assaulted anybody. And when I wanted to get out of this relationship, out of this situation, she said no, and she kept pursuing me and harassing me and stalking me. And then when she didn't get her way, she used the Speak Out movement to try to ruin my career. Completely unacceptable. That's all I really had to say. That's the story. Everybody have a great day. Take care. Later.
All right. So you heard Matt Riddle, Pharaoh. Thoughts?
Wow. That's a lot to digest.
Hit you with a good one, right?
Yeah, you did. I have a lot of respect for him to be able to come out and say things the way they were. Doesn't sound like it's a lie at all coming from his end.
Well, let me ask you this question. What did Candy Cartwright... I think this is a couple of years past.
Yeah.
What does she have to gain by lying?
Notoriety, because Matt Riddle is now hitting the zenith of his career. He is now on SmackDown. So she figured that she would just continue and get her name out there. And you know what? She succeeded because we're talking about her. Has she succeeded in the long run? Nope. Is this going to work against her in her career down the road? Yeah, I think so. You'll never see a freaking job in WWE. I'll tell you that. So you might have been, you wanted to try to ruin someone's life because they made a mistake. Well, guess what? They actually owned up to the fact they made a mistake, and now you're all out of ammo. Good luck, Candy Cartwright. See you nowhere.
Oof. Well,
Matt Riddle is a great, great talent, and I'm sorry that he did this, but at least he's sorry too, and I thought he handled it with class, don't you?
I thought
he
made the statement that he felt was the truth. Right?
Yeah.
With anything,
there is nothing worse. There is nothing worse than
right?
a psycho who won't leave you be. There is nothing worse.
Well, now you're saying that it's a possibility that she's upset that they didn't carry on their relationship.
Why would she continue to torture him?
People get upset.
What is the point of torturing the guy?
I understand.
And I found it hilarious that the second he's on SmackDown, boom, there she is. She's an opportunist.
It's quite the coincidence.
She's vindictive.
Wow.
I don't think it's cool. Well, if it was the other way around, we'd be calling the guy a piece of shit. We would be. So you know what? That's a piece of shit move. That's my opinion.
Well, with that, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Reach move on her part.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaohs seen here every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. Pharaoh, too much Bailey, too much Banks?
Which one's Bailey? Which one's Banks? Oh, sorry, that's Fuck the Revival. What do you mean too much? What does that mean?
Seems the WWE is pushing these.
I enjoy their work.
So
I was just watching today, over at Wisteria Hall Studios, watching some Bailey and Sasha work on this week's programs. Yeah, I enjoy them. Bailey's become a crotchety villain, and Sasha's good as a bad guy, and they're fine. I don't see the issue. Is somebody complaining about them, or did they?
Well, you got a lot of the pro wrestling experts out there saying, "Oh my God, Bailey and Banks are on every show. They're on SmackDown. They're on Raw.
Okay.
They're on NXT."
So what?
Well, here's the problem.
I'd rather see
not enough Lesnar. Too much Banks. Too much Reigns. Too much Rollins.
Where is Reigns?
He's at home.
Be nice to see him again soon. They need some stars, man. Need some star power.
Dude, I
have no issue with Bailey and Banks.
Would you
please
Cold
read this so I can finally get this off my chest? What is this with Sasha?
All right. Sasha Banks recently on an interview said that Bailey and herself were a better tag team than Harlem Heat.
Okay, go ahead. You first. Are they?
Are they a better team than Harlem Heat?
Are they better than Harlem Heat and Mike Monty? Go on.
No. I don't know. I
want more than no. I've been blowtorching through this show, so your turn to blowtorch.
So, in my opinion, Harlem Heat is in at least the top 12 greatest tag teams in the history of pro wrestling.
I don't know, but maybe. We'd have to sit down.
They're
one of the top tag teams, certainly, of their era.
Compare yourself to Booker T, and Stevie Ray,
right?
Who I thought, in my opinion, had a great theme song.
Yes, they did.
Right?
Yeah, they did.
Great interviewers.
Yes, they were.
Looked the role.
Yes, they did. They were great in the ring too. And they each had their distinctive role. They
I
complemented each other.
I always was hoping they would end up in the WWE
Yeah,
at some point, which was disappointing to me that they didn't.
That was more on Stevie Ray, right?
Okay, but on the other hand, I will tell you something.
Well, something.
Bayley as a heel, Sasha Banks as a heel.
They're great. I enjoy them.
They're incredible.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
Are they better than Harlem Heat?
No.
They're not better than
Harlem Heat. No, not at all. Stop already. Who's the greatest tag team from that Monday Night War situation from WCW? It's got to be Harlem Heat.
Yeah, without
I mean,
doubt.
would you say that maybe the Outsiders when they had a little, Hall and Nash?
I think Harlem Heat were better than
they were more
the
the tag team.
If you went from both organizations, I would say Harlem Heat was the best in WCW, and I'd say the New Age Outlaws were the best in the WWE.
They're in the late '90s, absolutely. Yeah, that's fair.
Better
That's
than
fair.
Better than the Dudleys. Well, the Dudleys weren't there at that time.
They
right?
did show up in the late '90s, '99 or so. I think the Dudleys do come in. But once the it gets into 2000 and plus, now you're talking about the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys,
Anyway, I was a huge Harlem Heat fan. I always dug them. I always, again, if God knows what the WWE.
Well, you had to like them. They were both as big as a house, and
they were great with Sherry Martel.
You know how legit? Oh my God, she was great with them.
Seems like
was she not great with it? She was great no matter what she did.
You're right.
She was great. You know who reminds me of just a little bit, only a little bit. I like Selena Vega.
As Sherry Martel?
Not as a Sherry Martel. Nobody could be Sherry Martel, but I like her villain feel. Let me put it that way.
I do too.
The way she is as a villain manager, as a female.
I think
villain
Selena
manager.
Vega wants to be a wrestler, though. I don't think she wants to be a manager.
She likes to do those hurricane runners. That's for sure. She's real good at them. But congratulations on your one move. What else do you do? You know what I mean?
Give her a shot. Who knows?
I guess, man.
Dude, I gotta tell you this, and you're probably gonna walk out of the show.
No,
with this.
I didn't walk
out.
Mauro
Ronaldo. I cannot stand the guy.
Right,
I can't take it, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an excellent show tonight, but Michael Monty has clearly lost his mind. He's flossing his teeth. Is he reaching for the crest of the aim? The crest of the aim! Which is it gonna be?
Good invitation.
Really? You
making
really
me as
don't
sick as
like
I watch when I
Mauro
watch
Ronaldo? Why do
NXT.
you not like Mauro Ronaldo?
He's so freaking over the top. It's like
Okay.
so annoying.
Reaching for the crest of the aim. All right, I guess I was... okay, fine.
Where does he rank in announcers?
He's the best in the business.
So if you were to start a wrestling
My opinion,
organization,
I'm starting-
that's the guy you're going with.
Yeah, why, you going with Michael Cole? You're going to pick Michael Cole
All
or
right,
Mauro Ronaldo?
Hypothetical question.
You're gonna
Every
pick-
announcer in the world's alive that you've
Yeah.
seen in wrestling.
Ever?
Ever.
You know who my answer is.
You going with Soley?
Yes.
Then-
know my
okay,
answer
After
is
Soley, who are
Soley.
you going with?
Ross.
After Ross?
Probably Mauro.
Wow.
Yeah, I have that much respect
Not
for
Heenan?
Mauro. Heenan's more of a color commentary
Not
thing.
Ventura?
Color commentary. And you're not going to tell me Vince McMahon was a better ring announcer than Mauro Ronaldo. I'm not buying that. No. No.
He's just too much over the top.
Oh,
for
I
me.
understand. The crest of the aim!
I'm sorry.
He's flossing! Oh, my God, for the love of...
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
We'll be right back!
God. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaohs, seen out of Indie Music TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. Again, I want to remind everybody, next Thursday, July 16th, Rock and Wrestling returns to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh as pro wrestling superstar Andrew Anderson joins the acclaimed band Aqua Cherry in studio. And then July 18th from, I think, 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock or something, or 2:30.
Something like that.
WWE's Virgil or WCW's Vincent, whichever
Yeah, right.
way you
Virgint.
tend to go, Virgint, will be in studio. And I think that's going to be a really fun interview. I think we're going to have a good time.
Can we bring a basketball and make them dribble it 15 times?
And then kick it
And
from
then
them?
kick it away on the...
I honestly think we're going to play Hit It or Quit It. You think,
Oh,
you think it's the
that'd be
wrong
a
time to
ro-
play that, though?
Why?
With everything that's going on?
Oh, okay. You're a beast.
We're going with Hit It or Quit It.
I got it.
All right, listen, on the phone today before you got drunk, not today, but during the week.
Before I got drunk.
We were speaking about the Undertaker's retirement together on the phone, and you were getting pretty loud about it. The question I had for you was...
I don't even remember this. Go on.
During the Monday Night Wars,
yeah,
if the Undertaker would have jumped ship,
yeah,
would that have changed the trajectory of what happened on the Monday Night Wars?
No, I don't believe so. You do? You think that would have changed and shifted the Monday Night?
Well, I'm asking
I don't.
you.
Well, I think I do remember now this conversation because I said to you that while the Attitude Era was a tremendous time period and a huge boom for the business, and especially the reemergence of Vince taking the mantle back as we are the best company in the world and we're going to stay that way, the Undertaker during the Attitude Era was really not that. I've seen better Undertaker. And I hope I know I'm saying this right, that the fans understand what I'm trying to get at. The Undertaker of the Attitude Era was the Ministry of Darkness silliness with like Viscera, and they were crucifying Stone Cold, and the Brood, Gangrel, and all this other stuff. Like, the Undertaker, oddly enough, in an era that specialized in some realism, like you said, we used to tune in and wonder, is this real? What's going on here with this edginess of the characters now, kind of mixing real life on the internet before these shows? What's going on here? The Undertaker was still probably very comic booky when you think about it during the Attitude Era, when so many other characters were flourishing because they were real, or they acted like a Stone Cold. What was his gimmick? Talk loud and beat the shit out of you.
My thought process goes, Taker would have went over there.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been Undertaker.
Right.
Right? He would have been
they would have had to make him something else.
He would have had to be Mean Mark Callis
the Mortician or something?
Something ridiculous, right? Or something, right?
I saw that.
Yeah. That would have been a problem.
Right.
So was there any wrestler that could have jumped ship that could have made a difference?
I don't think Shawn Michaels would have made a difference. We've discussed that before.
Right.
I don't think Shawn Michaels would have made a difference.
And why don't you think Shawn would have made a difference?
Because Shawn himself, even when they switched to Austin to get some momentum, Shawn was not a super profitable champion for the company.
He was one of the worst.
Right. I mean, which doesn't make much sense.
That's factual.
Doesn't make
dollars
much sense.
And cents, right?
That's
Diesel,
the way it
Shawn
was.
Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Maybe in Europe Bret Hart did well.
Okay.
And maybe someone knows more than me. But from what I read, those are three of the worst champions in the history of the WWE.
Well, it was a down period for the business. 95, 96, 97 was down period for WWF. 96 was obviously a very up period for WCW because that's when Hogan turns into Hollywood Hogan. I really actually agree with Eric Bischoff, and he said this before. There's only one person that could have changed everything, and he wanted to get Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because that's the only thing that would have changed everything. I just got Vince McMahon on my show.
So you think if Steve Austin would have jumped ship during that time, could he have made a difference, or they just would have destroyed him?
Well, who becomes Steve Austin's Folly? Who becomes his nemesis? Who becomes his Darth Vader? Does Austin go over there and just start to stun everybody in the NWO? That would be over in a week.
You're right.
So who was he going to have?
You know what killed WCW?
Rivalry
we spoke about that.
McMahon was his Joker.
The cattle prod to Goldberg, they ended the streak way too early.
Absolutely.
They could have kept that momentum going, and eventually they just killed it too quick.
And they put the belt on the wrong...
And they killed it with Nash. It was the biggest mistake.
They put the belt on the wrong person. I told you that I felt at the time they should have let Goldberg continue with his amazing run, and there was one other character that was so red hot back in those days, and he was a villain. And Goldberg was meant to be a good guy. I'm sorry, okay? His character is just meant to be a good guy. So you got this naturally over phenom Goldberg. You had Big Papa Pump in his prime. The fans were drooling for that matchup. They all wanted to see it. Give us Goldberg versus Big Papa Pump and let Papa Pump beat him. Let him get the belt because we wanted to see Big Papa Pump as a world champion. The guy was amazing on a microphone, too. Could you imagine if they had built that the right way? And that if they had the in-ring ability to work together, that could have been great. But that wasn't just one more missed opportunity. And then along comes Vince Russo, And
then history's
and the rest is a big fat mess.
Speaking of belts, before we head on out, the new United States title. Thoughts on the new belt?
It looks less cheesy.
You thought the other one was cheesy?
I thought it was a little.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a little. I don't know. I mean, you like the new one, or you?
I think it looks nice. I think it needed that change. It's more modern.
Yeah, I don't think that the old belt was up to par with some of the other championships in the company as far as the way they look. Whatever that means.
What still bothers me at this point is I've always held the Intercontinental title as probably the most important title. Like
Really?
for the longest time.
Not anymore.
And they did well. No, it's trash now.
Right.
But I mean, they destroyed some of the greatest champions. Like when I think about great champions, I think about Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously Don Morocco, right?
Yeah.
Pedro Morales,
Greg,
Tito Santana, Greg Valentine,
right?
Macho Man Randy Savage,
right?
Sure. I mean, Ultimate Warrior. Like some of the greats have held that title, and it meant a lot. Pat Patterson,
right? Well,
Ken
he was the
Patera.
first.
I mean, look, the list is long.
Sure.
They trashed the Intercontinental belt, and again, I don't know. It's this weird thing in me, right? It's like one side or the other. I'm not like a fan of both. I just can't seem to bring myself that way. So when they bought WCW and brought that United States Heavyweight title over,
right?
It's
you never warmed up to it?
I hated it because it was United States Heavyweight title.
Right.
But I will tell you, when Cena won it and had that challenge every week,
that was awesome.
It was awesome.
Right.
It kind of made me forget about the Intercontinental.
Rusev was a good U.S. champion.
He was a great U.S. champion.
Yep. And you know what? Recently, I know you've probably already forgotten about it, but I enjoyed Nakamura's 6-month reign. No one's held that belt that long for a little while, so I enjoy. And by the way, Nakamura pinned Kofi Kingston 1-on-1 this past week on SmackDown. So Nakamura still remains unscrubbed. Thank you, God. I think him and Cesaro are going to win the tag belt soon.
They got to do something.
They got to do something.
But again, in this COVID era, it's they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
And, fans got to give it a break, right? They're
Yeah.
trying to give entertainment. I mean, look, it's hard to watch. If it goes on for a year and a half, you might see the end of professional wrestling.
I don't know if anything can keep going for the way it's been going.
Well, we haven't seen baseball yet, so we'll see what that turns out to be. And we haven't seen football yet. And maybe it has a different feel, but I could just tell you, as a fan watching wrestling, it's a hard watch.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I thought Raw this week was exceptional.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
If they did that every week,
I thought it
wouldn't be
fine.
as bad. I thought it was pretty good.
Right.
I thought the acting was really well done. I thought NXT for wrestling was excellent.
Of course.
And I thought AEW was trash. I'm sorry, dude. You can't main event. You said
Whiskey, anybody?
You can't main event Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Are people really saying that's a great 5-star match?
Match of the year.
Match of the year.
Match of the year.
Really?
It's because it's anti-WWF.
Of course it is, right. There goes the Meltzer heads again.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a break.
Anyway, you're watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaohs, seen here out of Indie Music TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. You can catch us on YouTube on the Monty and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live on the Monty and the Pharaoh page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Channel 115 every Tuesday from 8:30 to 9 p.m., on Saturday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on Fridays on Channel 20 at 1:30 a.m. I think that's an RTF network on Friday from 6 to 7 drive time, and Monday from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Don't forget, on next Thursday, we have Andrew Anderson in studio with Aqua Cherry, and then Saturday, a special Saturday event, we've got WCW and WWE star Virgil/Vincent in studio. And then by next week, we will have a very, very special announcement. I think the fans will be very happy, and I think it's going to go well. Anyway, I'm Mike Monty.
This is the Pharaoh. Until next week, later.